What did you learn from last night's game?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, the Warriors' defense is something they're going to have to address. They're the boxer-puncher who's forgotten how to box a little bit, and with Houston being the puncher who's learned how to box, that's a little dangerous. But I want to focus on the Wizards for a second. Coach Fizdale broke this down, who's great on TV, by the way, broke this down on Countdown the other night perfectly. John Wall has the curse of the gifted. What does that mean? It means when you're really, really good at something, sometimes your short-term incentives to do that thing, in this case, will be at odds with your long-term incentives, which is to elevate the team. So how does that play out for the Wizards? Stephen A., John Wall, they said they run the high pick and roll. If they get nothing out of it, they reset and try it again because he's such a fantastic, unstoppable ISO player. He knows they're likely to get something the next time they run the pick and roll. The problem is that's essentially 2 players on offense, 3 players essentially shut out of the offense. They're less incentivized to move. Everything kind of stagnates. What happens when John Wall's not there? They don't get anything out of the pick and roll. They swing it baseline. Now the guy on the baseline has a wide open three-pointer, or if the defense comes toward him, now you got a guy cutting in the middle. You know, whether it's Gortat or Oubre or whoever. And so the entire offense works better. What I learned from last night is when John Wall comes back, he has to learn how to trust his teammates. That's a chemistry issue. He has to understand that the short-term incentive, when the high pick and roll doesn't work, is not just to reset and do it again. Not just to pull harder. We see this with some singularly talented superstars like Russell Westbrook, even LeBron this year. When things don't go their way, they pull even harder. They try to carry the load even more rather than relaxing and trusting their teammates. Can John Wall learn that? It's a tactical adjustment. If you're not getting anything out of the pick and roll, move the ball, get out of it. Don't just try the same thing again and again. And if he can do that, the Wizards are live. But Stephen A., the fact that he and Bradley Beal have been there as long as they have together already with basically the same nucleus, and they keep hitting that wall, tells me that it's not going to happen, that there's a chemistry issue, and that they're going to have to choose between John Wall and Bradley Beal and make a move.
Well, I'm not sure it's going to come to that. I don't disagree with any of your points, but I'm not sure that the final point is necessary. I don't think it's going to come to that. I think we need to wait to see what John Wall is going to do. Here's the reality of the situation. Last night, we saw the value of a John Wall because there was no one that could make a play. Bradley Beal had played the night before against Milwaukee. He was completely exhausted before the game. They didn't get in until about 3 o'clock in the morning. He barely got any sleep. He was absolutely positively exhausted, but he went out there and he played and couldn't really get anything done for the most part. He was virtually non-existent through the first 3 quarters. So we got to take into account that particular situation. As a result, Satoransky couldn't get anything done. Otto Porter had no help. Kelly Oubre needs to become a bit ambidextrous and learn to use his right hand more. Don't get me started with Marcin Gortat and his level of impotence thus far. He's got to step his game up. But it really showed the value of a John Wall because John Wall is one of the great two-way players in the game. Is he a superstar? No. But is he a star? Yes, he is. And he is sorely needed. Here's what we need to understand about John Wall. When he comes back, all the pressure is on his shoulders. All of it. Because this team leads the league in assists since he went down. Now, I want to emphasize this because I was saying this to a couple of people last night in the nation's capital, Max, and I want to emphasize this. If you are Kobe or Harden or Michael Jordan at the 2-guard spot, if you're LeBron or Bird or somebody at the small forward spot, or the power forward spot with Tim Duncan, or a center spot, and the team looks more unselfish and they're looking more selfless and sharing the basketball and things of that nature. While you're gone, it's not a big deal. It's a given because you being the center of attention that comes with it. But when that happens, after they lose their point guard, that's an indictment against the point guard. Because the point guard's job is supposed to be to make sure that you're excelling in exactly that area. And to excel in exactly that area without the star point guard means that while the point guard was there, he felt either A, he had to make the plays himself, or B, he didn't have confidence in the guys that he's playing with, which speaks to the level of friction that was reported to have existed. So when John Wall comes back, all of the pressure is going to be on his shoulders to not disrupt the apple cart per se and to really vibe with Bradley Beal, who has proven what a star he is. If that doesn't happen, everyone is going to be looking to John Wall, and he is the one that's going to get blamed. And only then will we know whether he needs to stay or go. We do not know that yet.